I'm Mike Page, in my 50s. I'm a father of two boys, one of which is at Tairāwhiti University, the other's at Gisborne Boys High. I've brought my kids up on my own for the last 7 years while juggling business and full-time jobs. I've been pretty lucky that my boys are pretty level-headed and helped me through the process. I'm originally from Otago. I've got Scottish blood running through my veins. I've been in the forest and logging industry for 40 years, 15 years in Southeast Asia, mainly in Borneo, sustainably harvesting rainforests there using helicopters. There's a couple of things. I'm not happy with the way the country is going at the moment, the direction it's going. I thought I'd put my name forward because I want to have a bit of a voice. I want to see change for the positive. I'm also quite passionate about this region because when I come back from Malaysia, I targeted Gisborne as a forestry area and opportunities. So I see our primary industries of farming, forestry, fishing, horticulture as the drivers and pushers of our economy in this area, because our area is an isolated corner of the country and we have our own unique environmental issues which brings costs, more often than not devastation every time we get a weather event being brought about by climate change. And what we need to make this region strong is to have our infrastructure right, our roads in place and worthy of putting trucks on and moving our goods to market. So I'm sort of standing for the primary sector, and I want to get forestry and farming and the primary sector together to be a push to get the funding needed to get to make the economy strong here. On a higher level, I'd change our New Zealand government. But on this level, I think the first thing we need to address here is, before we look at building infrastructure, fixing roads, is we've got to sort out the erosion that every time we get a weather event is washing our farmers away, washing our businesses away, washing our infrastructure away, and washing our communities away. So we have a man-made environmental issue inland on the east coast, which is brought about by the subsidised tree planting in the 80s. And a lot of these areas can't be harvested because they didn't plan 30 years ago or 40 years ago how they'd get rid of the trees. But our soil cannot hold the trees up after they get to a certain age. So they're toppling over in their thousands, bringing all the soil and all the watered mass into our waterways, which block up, and every time we get a rain event, seem to wash down through our farms, our communities, and out to sea, which affects our fishing as well. So before we look at spending money and doing infrastructure and roading, we need to clean up the environment, sustain our environment and stop the erosion. Same thing. It's the biggest thing that affects our community. It's unique to the East Coast, Gisborne, Tairāwhiti. And we need to push more funding, or allocation of funding, or a fair share of funding from central government, because our area is unique. I think so. I think through the RMA and our resource consents that we should be looking at case by case individually for different sectors. And we could also interpret what's in legislation. We could use a little bit of common sense and interpretation for different areas, and definitely housing. We're short of housing. You can't find a place here to rent, so we've got to help. I see derelict buildings in the middle of the city that are earthquake prone, but they need to be fixed up. They're an eyesore. We could be turning them into apartments. But anything to help bring in investment as well. But that comes back to our infrastructure and our environment. Who wants to come here and invest and build industry when there's no housing and our roads are a mess. You know, we can't get our products to market on time. I would say yes, but not at the moment. We're going through an economic backlash from COVID-19, worldwide inflation. So definitely, but at the moment, when things are tight and we don't know how bad they'll get or how long, if it's going to be a soft landing or how long it's going to take to get it, but we need to be prioritising the important things. I'm not saying the arts are not important, but we should be prioritising our needs at the moment, and that's to drive our economy. So short answer, yes, but when time and money is more relevant, I think. Yeah, I'm not too sure because I come from forestry. It's always been remote. I'm not what you call an extrovert, but I think what I want to do is, if there's email or however people contact councillors or the GDC, is I want to make myself available. I will take phone calls, I will answer emails, and I will do what the majority wants to do. I've got my own opinions, but the biggest thing I think we can do for the community is if they ask you something or are looking for something, is that we have the decency to reply and get back to them and be accountable. It's a funny question because New Zealand is multicultural, but so is a lot of the world at the moment. And the best thing we can do is provide opportunities. And to do that, we need to make the region strong. And it goes back to where we've got to start, supporting our primary industries, growing, offering the jobs so that everyone gets an equal opportunity. Everyone can go to school, everyone has the access to health. Everyone's culture is a little different, and they've got their communities, and we should have the respect. But I think, as long as everyone's got the same opportunity, then I think we should be right. I want to look more at that because I don't know if we're going to get a fair share of what our assets are worth. So it depends on the amount of money. If the $27, $28 million is what's been rumoured that has been on offer, well then we shouldn't take it. We should fight a bit harder and negotiate, because our region, with our primary industries, although we've got a small population base, we do contribute quite well on a national level. We punch above our weight, and we have unique environmental issues on the coast, so which cost our communities more money. So I'm not happy with 28 million, and I want to hold on and try and negotiate a better deal. I'm not for it anyway, but it all depends. You've got to look at it. Is it going to cost you more money in the end? Is the price of spending on infrastructure going to outweigh? So we've got to weigh it up. But definitely, we shouldn't be accepting 28 million. I just want to thank everyone for listening. And as I say, I'm not a big talker, but I'm a doer. I like to see things get done. It's like the roads. If they're, I was going to say a word, but I won't. If they're broken, let's just get in and fix them. Let's get value for money from the money that we spend on roading and infrastructure. Let's get value for money. Let's turn what's being spent at the moment into actually usable long-term roads for safe driving and getting our products to market. Thank you very much.